Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Aesthetic Edge. I'm your host, Bethany Gifford, podcast creator and founder of consulting business called New Era Intel, where we help med spas, wellness practices, and aesthetics grow with strategy, systems, and smart marketing. On the show today, we're going to be diving into some real stories behind aesthetics and wellness and the wins, the lessons, and insights that will help your business thrive. Today's episode is super special. I'm sitting down with three powerhouse women who built Uptown Med Spa and Wellness together, blending medical aesthetics, massage therapy, aesthetics, and wellness under one roof. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by New Era Intel. At New Era Intel, we help medical spas, dermatology clinics, and plastic surgery practices who are struggling with inconsistent patient retention, underutilized CRM systems, and manual systems that hold back your clinic's growth potential so they can finally increase quality repeat bookings, streamline operations with AI automation, and grow predictable monthly revenue with the right systems and strategy. They're able to create a premium, seamless patient experience while freeing up their team to focus on what they do best. If you would like to take your business to the next level, head over to neweraintel.com to get started.
Now, let me properly introduce my guests. We have Ramsie, Jessica, and Stacy, each of them bringing a unique background from nursing to massage therapy to aesthetics. All together, they've created a practice that is redefining what a med spa and wellness center can look like. Their story is one of teamwork, resilience, and shared passion for helping clients feel their best from the inside out. Ladies, welcome to the show. I am so excited to have all three of you here. Will you
Hi.
briefly describe your roles at Uptown?
So I'm Ramsey. I'm the massage therapist. That's kind of all I do, my only work, but I offer therapeutic and relaxation massages. So yeah. Marketing. Okay, well, my side hustle is marketing for specifically like med spas, wellness centers, stuff like that.
Great.
And I'm Jessica. I'm the RN injector. So I oversee all the medical piece, basically, from Botox, filler to the primary care, hormone therapy, and weight loss. And we also have a mobile IV team that I oversee as well. So we go out to the homes and hydrate people.
And hey there, I'm Stacy. I am the esthetician. Of course, I do all of the facials. I also do body waxing, teeth whitening, body wraps, and things of that nature.
Amazing. Amazing. Oh, I haven't had a good body wrap in a long time. I love those. Well, let's kind of start at the beginning, how you guys started. Ramsey, I know that your career in massage therapy kind of really sparked the vision for Uptown. Can you kind of take us back to those early days, and what inspired you guys to see something bigger?
Yes. So, right after high school, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. So I kind of just let it roll. And then, honestly, like the Lord pretty much laid on my mom and my grandmother, like the idea of massage therapy. And mind you, I had no idea what massage like was. Like I knew people get them in spas, but I had no idea you could be a massage therapist. So they kind of were like, well, just try it. So I went to the orientation and I was like, this is so cool. They were telling me how I can be kind of my own person in it. I can create my own business. And I was like, I definitely want to have like my own business, be my own boss, at my own hours, all the things. And then I didn't see many people do that, at least at the time. And so I was like, I'm gonna try this. And then right after like a massage school, we got the building, or not the building, we got a suite in a building and I got it all going. And then after that, I think my mom was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And so she, got involved in,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's kind of how I got into the business, at least my down to earth massage business.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's basically jealous that she was able to start a business and had me thinking like, well, what can I do? And then that's when I realized, being an RN, you can do injections. So that's when I went searching on the board of nursing and found out that you could do it as long as you had a doctor. And so I actually rented the suite across from her and got the PLLC and everything lined up before I even was certified to do it. I mean, I was like, I'm doing one way or another. And my goal was to truly just get out of the corporate world. And then after that, we decided to go into a bigger space. And then that's where Stacy came in. And we merged and we became one.
So that's amazing that all three of you have separate roles within the company and your each unique qualities that you contribute. What was the kind of the deciding factor to all three of you going into business together and creating Uptown?
I think it just made sense. I think we were confusing people too, like the public, on like our separate individual like businesses. So we were like, let's just do one umbrella that incorporates wellness and aesthetics, cosmetics, all the things.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know you guys have expanded into a lot, not just injecting, not just massage therapy, and not just facials. You've kind of expanded into the whole wellness, hormone, weight loss, primary
Yeah.
care. Kind of talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when we were doing just more Botox filler, that type of thing, I just felt like, well, when we decided to kind of rebrand, I guess is when it really came. Because when we first started, we each had our own business names and everybody just kind of, some reason, just took Uptown Med Spa. Like, so everybody was Uptown Med Spa, even though they weren't.
Oh.
And so we were like, we don't know how that got branded, but we're like, okay, let's roll with it. And so when we rebranded and decided to add the wellness piece in, it's like, well, what is wellness besides massage and IV? So then we were like, okay, well, body wraps and the sauna, and then what else can we do? And one of my mentors, her name's Christina Paulus. She's a nurse practitioner, and she owns her own med spa in Mount Holly, which is about 25 minutes from us. And I thought, well, would you want to come do weight loss and primary care? Because she does that. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. So being able to bring her in helped us go ahead and branch out into the weight loss first. Then she's like, well, what about primary care and hormones? And I'm like, well, yeah, if you can do that, sure. Now we just added peptides. So now we're doing peptides. So you keep finding all these things that you can do. And some people, like Ramsie's people in massage, probably 95% of her people do not come see us. They don't want to do cosmetic anything, but then they will come see us for the wellness piece. So several of her people might see me for primary or weight loss or hormones, but they don't want anything to do with aesthetics. So that was just something that was just able to fit everybody. So you can come here and it doesn't matter what you need. More than likely, we're going to have it.
Absolutely. You guys have branded yourself as the one-stop shop. I love that.
Yeah. We need hair and nails now, and then we'll be completely done.
Really one-stop shop. Hey, grow, baby, grow. You never know. So, what was the transition though from, I know you said you came from corporate kind of careers into entrepreneurship. Can you tell some of the listeners, what that looks like? And I know a lot of people want to do the same. So,
want to tell your story on that?
Yeah, so I came from corporate, probably about 15 years in the corporate world, maybe longer. And then when I left, I was on up in age, and I'm like, what do I want to do? And aesthetics has always been a love that I have. Like, I love makeup and I love, the skincare. And I would always get facials anywhere we would go. If we went out of town to nice spas, that was just my go-to, was facials. And I'll never forget North Beach Plantation, Cinzia Spa. So I give a shout out. There was a lady there that had went in to get my facial, and I felt everything that she did. I felt her vibe. I felt her truly wanting to make my skin look good. I felt her energy. And when I left, and I wish I knew her name, But when I left, not only did my skin look good, but I felt good. I felt good about myself. And so I just started talking to my family, and, I'm like, I would love to go to esthetician school. And that's when my son is like, Mom, that's perfect. You always love popping bumps on me.
Yeah. Somebody's
Um,
got to do
I
it.
know. So that's just when I ventured out and found a school local, and went in, and I've loved it ever since, and just hope that I can make my clients feel like that lady did for me that day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I've been out and never looked back. I love it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it really makes not just a procedure being done, but an event. I mean, we're in the service business, the people business. It's more than just aesthetics, it's personal and emotional.
Yeah.
And people can read that for sure. So that's great. You had a wonderful example, and I'm sure you do the same with your clients.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
you guys like launching, the whole med spa. I know we had talked a little bit about, kind of the stigma behind med spas, and in the industry where you guys are. How did you guys overcome that? And what's your philosophy behind it?
I still think we're overcoming it. I still think it's there. I think it's just showing people, that I think a lot of it is that they don't think that nurse injectors get the same training as doctors. Um, and that's one thing that people do need to know is that we are in the same training classes. The training classes I go to, literally, I'm with plastic surgeons, I'm with nurse practitioners, PAs, dentists. We're all in the same group, learning the same techniques, the same pre and post, like we're there together. For some reason, people just think that, if you're not a doctor or whatever, but you also have people who are, say, mid levels and hires. I'll say probably more mid levels that think sometimes portray it that way as well. But that, depending on who you are, it's like you want to believe that or not. But we are all trained the same. And that's one thing that we do try to tell. But we're big educators, and I'm a huge educator. I'm a nurse. And so that's what we do. We were trained to educate at bedside, doctor's office, doesn't matter where you work. You are trained to educate that patient or that client as soon as you get them. You're starting to educate them. And so I think what's helped us grow is the educational piece. When people come in, we educate from the time you come in that door to the time you leave. And I don't do anything to them without them knowing what am I doing, why am I doing it, how much am I doing, and what brands am I using. Because I want them to know everything. Now they may forget, but we did talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you get people who say, how many units do you typically get? I don't know. Well, what brand do you normally use? I don't know. And it's fine. They don't have to know. But sometimes, we get people, I only want the Botox brand. Don't use anything else, So I always like to give people the options to let me know, is there a brand you like or not? And why I prefer one over the other. But I do think that the stigma is still there. I think it's just slowly, I think a couple bad med spas kind of like taint it just a little bit, because you hear things about things going on and they're like, oh, no, that's why you don't go to med spas. So I think it's going to take really good med spas to truly just keep pushing and educating and getting out there for people to really see that we are legit. We do educate. We continue to educate ourselves and our clients because we want to do everything safe and by the book.
Absolutely. Yeah, education is 100% key, especially in an industry where a lot of people don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And that's your
Yeah.
job to kind of come in and swoop that up.
Yeah.
Well, kind of speaking of like, being able to start a med spa, Jessica, in addition to running Uptown, you also coach others on how to start their own med spas. Can you
Yes.
share a little bit about that and maybe some common pitfalls that you've seen new owners do?
Yeah. So the reason I decided to start the coaching business was because I knew how difficult it was for me to get started. And at the time I did have a different business partner who left us in January because of personal reasons. But her and I, you have struggles, right? Like, well, where do I find a doctor? What kind of doctor do I need? What kind of contract do you sign? How much do you pay? Is that too much? Do I need a PLLC or LLC? What do I need? How do I do any of it? And it was so challenging. But the one thing that we did, we continued to push and push and push, and we would just find out what we need. Every hurdle, we made it over. So to me, I'm like, well, if I've already done this and 4 years later, we're pretty successful, then I'm like, why not help other people do it so they don't have, maybe I can help them do it in less time than what we have done it. Because we didn't have anybody there. So I decided just to launch a coaching business to see what happened. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's crazy that so many people go get certified, but they have no clue what to do after that. They don't even know, like, how do I register a business name? How do I get a tax ID number? You know, little things like that that are not hard. You just don't know where to go do it.
Absolutely.
So with my coaching, what I do is basically I customize it to what everybody needs, because I have had a few people who already have a business name and they have, you know, they have their PLLC, but they don't know, they really don't understand the aesthetic portion because they've been in the medical portion for so long. They're not sure how to incorporate that and make that transition. So policies and procedures, you know, those are huge. You got to have them. And how do they do that? So I customize it. And basically if you need from the ground up, we come up with a business thing together, and I walk them through how to get registered, how to be legal, everything to opening day. And my program is 90 days, so it's not very long, but everybody that goes through it has already seen at least 1 to 5 people before the 90 days is up, and they're already out on their own doing their business, making
That is,
money, which is what
that
they
is
want.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, you
for sure.
guys have a great track record and wonderful reviews. We know the quality of service is perfect, you know, within your establishment. But I know a lot of people have had questions and are wondering, you know, how are you tracking that? I mean, obviously patient retention, you know, return patients, but are there any like systems or processes, KPIs that you guys focus on, that would be helpful for people out there wanting to grow?
I think we do a lot of our, excuse me, our tracking through Vigaro,
Yeah.
tracking, the rebooking and the things like that, when people will be coming back or reaching out to them, and then just kind of seeing, hey, if that's where we need to reach back out to a customer or a client to see, when they're going to be coming back in or getting them rebooked and rescheduled. So just looking at things that way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think rebookings is probably the biggest thing. And with Stacy and Ramsie, their people tend to rebook quicker than my people. But that's because, what I do, you don't always need to come back, but for several months. So my rebookings look different than everybody else's. Except for like the weight loss, the medical side of it looks different. But I would say probably just, and then obviously the revenue has, gone way up. Probably just in the last 6 months. I mean, it's
Let me
truly
clap.
unbelievable.
It's always a great
So,
indicator. You know, with
absolutely.
revenue coming in. With your shift, you know, with adding, you know, all these services and then combining it all in one. Because I know a lot of people are wanting to add things to their med spas as well. What kind of like marketing shift did you guys need to do to kind of attract not just the clients that you already had, but new ones?
Website marketing.
Right.
Um, I mean, honestly, I feel like we live in a day and age where aesthetics, as far as pleasing to the eye, is very important. And like putting ourselves out there, doing events, things like that. And we used to do tons of events, but
One a month.
one a month.
One a
That's,
month.
yeah, we could probably go down a rabbit hole with that. But doing things like that, getting into the community, trying to partner up with other businesses, pop-up events, pop-up Botox, teeth whitening, all the little things. And as far as social media, like I said, like for me, and I know probably hundreds of people out there, if you go to a new restaurant, you go to a spa, like what is the first thing you're doing? Let's be honest. We're probably going to the Instagram page. Like that is most likely what I'm doing because I want to see like the vibe. I want to see what they're offering. I want to see before and afters, all the things. So I kind of took a hold of that and was like, this is what we're going to do. And I know I probably drive them crazy sometimes. Like, don't forget your lips before and after. Like let's show a picture of the post glow facial. Like let's do something like that. And then of course, other things, like when people come in, the brochures, making sure everything is crystal clear, what we offer, all the things. So it's very important, I feel like, for all of
Absolutely.
us.
I know everybody has their own little ways of doing their own internal marketing, whether it be referrals or socials and things like that. So it's always fun to hear what other little tips and tricks other people are having for sure. An event every month, that would be a lot of fun though. Maybe not for you guys. A lot of work.
As hard as it could be, I do believe that that was probably the best thing that we could have done at that time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do, because it got us out there. We were the one thing that we have really strived to do, and from the very beginning, is that we wanted to be as original as possible
Yeah.
and not steal ideas.
Yeah.
And so that was very important to us. Granted, now that's not saying people don't steal our ideas, because they do every day. But I'm okay with that, because that just means we're trendsetters. But so the events was really, really important. But it did get to be a little too much every month, because it was a lot of work. And we think what happened was that people got so used to them, though, that they just didn't have to come all the time. So
Or
they
expected
started
the deal.
expected to get the deal anytime.
special.
So they did start to get a little bit less and less of attendance. But we will keep at least one that has been our ultimate one from day one, and it's called a Tats and Talks. So we have a tattoo artist come, and we give a Botox deal, which we give other deals too, but Tats and Talks.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that has been
And they're just like these little 2x2
2x2s.
Because let's be real, that's really in right now. The little mini tattoos.
Yep.
Everyone wants those.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
love
so it's
that.
beneficial. And we have one.
We all have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
couple
have
I
of
ours.
probably
Yeah.
get like 5 per event, but it's
Why not? Take about 5
That's
minutes.
enough, ladies. That is so cool. I love that. We used to, because I used to work in dermatology for about a decade, and we had one day, or yeah, like one event a year. We had a few. One of them was called the Day of Beauty, and everybody waited for it because the deals were
Yes.
insane, and we had vendors and stuff. We didn't have tattoo artists. That's cool. That's new. I love that.
Yeah.
Great.
Then we actually have one in October. So we have we're
coming
going to do October, and then that'll be it for
And
the
you're
year.
welcome to come.
Yes.
Oh,
See
don't
us.
tempt me with a good time. I love
Yes.
events. I love them. Well, what's next for Uptown? Any new services, lines, events? I mean, obviously one in October, but what else do you guys have on the horizon?
I don't think we really have any services right now that I can think of. We're always one thing that we try to do is we don't jump on the bandwagon very quickly for any new services, because a lot of them you can see they don't go as well as you had thought.
Sure.
We've done that with a couple things and thinking, oh, it's going to be our ROI is going to be great, and then you're like, where's the ROI? So we just kind of, sit back and we watch, and we don't. One thing that we have done that I think most businesses probably can't say is that we have not ever taken out a business loan. We don't do loans. So everything we've done, we've done it because we worked our other jobs while we do it, or we take the money back from the business to put back into the business. So we don't like to finance. So if we can't buy it, more likely you're not going to sell us on it. But we do like to just kind of watch and see, because the thing is, if everybody has the machine, what's going to make us different? And why do you come to us for that machine when you can go down the block and get it? Then it's just always like, you're competing for we don't want to do that. So anything that we ever try to buy, one, we're going to have to pay cash for it. And then two, we want to make sure that nobody else has it. So right now I don't think really anything. We would probably like to do laser hair removal next. That's a big thing. So we only have like one real laser machine, and it's kind of like a chemical peel on steroids at Aerolase that we do. But other than that, that's probably going to be our next investment.
And I think we really try to listen to what our clients are asking for. Like if
Absolutely.
they're not coming in asking for, a particular machine or there's no reason for us to go do it. We do have a lot of people that ask about the laser hair removal. So that is on our.
Perfect. I mean, you got to give them what they want, and every area is different too. A lot of people in certain areas of the United States or the world, want different things for different reasons, climates and things like that. So That's amazing. Yep, you got to listen to your clients for sure.
And we definitely want to move. We want to move
Bigger
to a
place.
bigger place.
Okay, that's
Out of
huge.
space. Yeah, we're out of space, and we need to bring some more people on to do some different types of things. So,
Wonderful.
but our name being Uptown, we kind of have to stay Uptown. So it's going to be kind of challenging to kind of see how.
At least in our city, because
Yeah.
sometimes uptowns are these big cities.
Yeah.
It's a small town. So
Yeah.
we
We only
don't
have
too
like
much.
maybe 2 or 3 blocks to play with.
You guys need to knock
But-
out a wall or something.
Okay.
Tell your neighbor,
That-
move over.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insight and a little sneak peek into what you girls do there. Where can our audience reach you? Where can they find you? And where can they come see you?
Well, we're located Uptown Shelby, in North Carolina. You can find us on our website. It's my site, I think, dot Uptown Med Spa Wellness.com, I believe. Vogaro.com, that's another place that's like directly to book. And then our socials, we're Uptown Med Spa Wellness under Facebook and Uptown Med Spa and Wellness on Instagram.
Wonderful. All right. And everybody, I'll make sure to link all those in the show notes for you. And Jessica, if somebody is wanting to start their own med spa, how can they get a hold of you?
So they can look me up on Instagram. It's under Jessica Kennedy. So it's just my first and last name. And on Facebook, it's Aesthetic Nurse Coach Jessica. And we can also send that. And they could just go there and message me and they could see my work. Especially on, well, both now, Instagram and Facebook. It's pretty good. They're linked better now. They can see everything I've done, everything I'm doing. And then they can just book a call.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you again so much. And thanks everybody for tuning into the Aesthetic Edge.